Government Order of the Day number 1.
Environmental Protection Authority Bill, interrupted debate on second reading.
When the second reading debate was interrupted on the Environment Protection Authority Bill, Kelvin Davis was speaking, and he has 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to speak should he wish to take it. Kelvin Davis.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and I'd like to be the first to congratulate Ross Robertson for reassuming that position. In fact, my colleague over here, Grant Robertson, was saying how proud he is to be related to Ross, bearing the same name. I think in the quieter moments together, he actually calls him uncle. So congratulations to Ross.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
I have great respect for my colleague, Ross Robertson. I am not related to him, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Now, the House has departed from standing orders considerably just in the last few minutes, but let's return to our standing orders. Kelvin Davis.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's true that you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your relations. So, Mr. Speaker, we were talking about the Environment Protection Authority Bill, and when the debate was ended last Thursday, I just finished congratulating my colleague Stuart Nash for an eloquent, detailed, well thought out speech, and I'd like to re-congratulate him. But the second point I had made was that Sue Kedgley from the Green Party said that this bill is full of doublespeak, and one of the very areas where the Environment Protection Authority Bill has doublespeak is in its title, because you would expect that an Environment Protection Authority would actually have in its mission statement or its vision some sort of statement saying that it was actually there to protect the environment, when the truth is that does not exist. In fact, the EPA's objectives are inadequate. They don't expressly require the EPA to actually protect the environment at all. Instead, as the bill is currently worded, the objective of the EPA, the Environment Protection Authority, is to undertake its functions in a way that, quote, contributes to the efficient, effective and transparent management of New Zealand's environment and natural and physical resources. There's nothing there about actually protecting the environment, which is why I say that I agree with Sue Kedgley when she says that this bill is full of double-speak. Mr. Speaker, last night I was at a community meeting in Wellsford up in the north of Auckland, and although the reason for the meeting was the Kaipara turbine decision. But also raised there was the Raukomara situation, where the marine environment, according to many Māori, is under attack. And I just want to raise the fact that in this bill there's actually no provision for the Treaty of Waitangi at all. And I wonder, and I have to ask the Māori Party, I wonder why it is that they've allowed this bill to go ahead without any reference to the Treaty of Waitangi. They stand here in this House and claim over and again that they speak for our people. They speak for the Māori people. And I wonder why it is that here I am, standing as a member of a Māori member of a mainstream party, the Labour Party, why it is that I'm standing here, the only one that's standing up and saying, where are the Treaty of Waitangi, where's the reference to the Treaty of Waitangi? What has happened that the Māori Party have forgotten to include reference to the Treaty of Waitangi? Why it is that Hone Harawira, who says he's the independent voice of the Tai Tokiro, he hasn't yet taken a call and stood up and said, where are the references in the Environment Protection Authority Bill to the Treaty of Waitangi? Because, Mr. Speaker, if there was reference to the Treaty of Waitangi, if there was concern for Māori issues, we probably wouldn't have the situation we have out off the east coast of the North Island, where we have Ngāti Pro, where we have Te Whānau Apanui, protesting that their concerns regarding the marine environment have not been heard. You see, this bill makes provision for a Māori advisory committee to be appointed by the EPA board to provide advice to the EPA from a Māori perspective on matters relating to policy.
Order. Too much noise.
Does it?
Background.
For matters relating to policy, process and decision making. Well, if the government is genuinely concerned about the Māori perspective on matters relating to policy and process, I suggest that they actually meet with whānau and hapu in kanohi, face-to-face, kanohi ki te kanohi hui, because there the government will be told, they'll be told with no doubt as to the perspective of each whānau and hapu in relation to environmental matters. Now, each hapu and iwi have environmental plans that they have spent a number of years developing, and those environmental plans spell out exactly what it is that Māori want for their environment. And that's face-to-face consultation, face-to-face meetings, face-to-face discussions with whānau, with hapu, are what is needed rather than a Māori advisory committee. Because I ask, what does a committee that's brought together from all parts of the country, I'm not quite sure actually how many people would be on this advisory committee, maybe half a dozen. What would all of those people know about issues relating to, say, the Raukumara Basin, to the basin off the west coast of Northland, the Northland Basin, or the Te Reinga Basin off the northwestern coast, or even the Puhi Valley up in the north, where there are real concerns by Ngāti Wai, Ngāti Hau as to the impact of what the government intends in terms of mining and seismic surveying and all those sorts of issues up in those areas. So I say to the government that they need to actually meet and have face-to-face hui with whānau, with hapu, so that they actually know what those whānau and hapu want. Now, and I say the minister over there is calling out. Let me just go back a page to where it says the EPA is to undertake its functions in a way that contributes to the efficient, effective and transparent management of New Zealand's environment. Now, Māori want transparency, and it's that minister over there, when the Petrobras decision was made, his idea of consultation and transparent communication with Ngāti Porou was to give Api Mahuika a phone call an hour before the media were informed that Petrobras were given the contract for the oil exploration. And it's that minister sitting over there, he's saying he's saying it's not true, but Order. That's how it's been reported. That's how it's been reported, and hopefully the EPA will live up to this transparent part of consultation, because, Mr. Speaker, the government's track record in relation to the Raukumara Basin, in relation to the letting of that oil exploration permit, hasn't been transparent, and that's why we have Ngāti Porou, why we have whānau Apanui, why we've had a flotilla up there off the east coast, people jumping in the water there, protesting, trying to stop the seismic survey, and complaining and concerned about what's going to happen to the marine environment, because we all know the story. We've seen it over in the Gulf of Mexico, what happened last year, and really that's the concern. Now, I'd say that if Māori were actually had the opportunity for decent consultation, they were able to put out their views, that the government met with the right people, then a lot of the angst would actually be alleviated. But instead we have decisions being made. Māori aren't being able to participate fully. Their environmental, their iwi plans, their hapu plans aren't actually being truly taken account of, and that's why we have Māori who are so annoyed, because things are happening to them, and instead of actually engaging in the decision making, they're standing up and they're saying, no, we don't accept that, we want to halt to things. Now, I think if they were actually fully involved in the decision making, and they were active participants in the decision making, then we would actually see a lot better progress than what we're seeing now, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Party opposes this bill, opposes the Environmental Protection Authority. At this stage, I don't think that there's going to be the benefits to Māori, and let me say again that it's sad that the Māori Party haven't stood up and justified the and haven't explained why they haven't included the Treaty of Waitangi clauses in this bill, and I'd say that's an indictment on them. Kia ora.
I call